Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back, and I hope you all had a really lovely Christmas. Hands up who's still full from Christmas Day. Me. And I haven't stopped eating. It's that time of year, isn't it? You just think, oh no. January 1st I'll get back on the healthy eating plan and whatever, but I've just been eating everything in sight, so I am so bloated. So I've yesterday decided to get into my craft room and try and distract myself, and I have mess everywhere, so but I have been distracted in another way from cleaning, and I've decided that I'll do a just a quick tutorial on these cute little envelope pockets. So I'll just grab a tag or something to pop in there. What have I got? Hang on a sec. Not very organized, but it's all good. So we've got a little pocket at the back here, so you could fill that with all sorts of bits and pieces. And then here is a little envelope, and you can pop all sorts of bits and pieces in there as well. So I thought this is probably, I would imagine, being done before. This is just something that I was playing around with, and just thought I'll turn the camera on and we'll do Tuesday inspiration. I hopefully might inspire some of you to give this a go. So what I'm using is this worn wallpaper, Tim Holtz worn wallpaper. It's really beautiful. It's got a real nice texture to it. It's blank on the other side. Really, really pretty colors. Very vintage. These little brads here are Stampin' Up! Antique brads. This is the last of these that I've got, and I'm not sure whether they're still available or not. Sorry, but that's just what you could use. Any brads, you could use buttons. You could make your punch circles and make your own little closures as well. And I've sewn all around here. Once again, you don't have to sew if you don't want to. So and you can also, you don't have to use these particular worn wallpaper sheets. You can just use cardstock. So what I might even do is, I'll see how we go time wise. I've just kicked everybody out of the main part of the house so that I can do this video, because we've got everybody. Got my daughter staying with us for a few weeks at the moment, and Jim's mum is here as well, so I've just kicked them all out. It's Jim's starting dinner, so hopefully they'll leave me alone and let me get this done. So all right, well, we'll get started. Just babbling on now. It's all that food, I think. So what you'll need are 2 pieces of cardstock or 2 pieces of this worn wallpaper. So this is, I haven't cut this at all. I'm using this worn wallpaper as per the size it is here. But these measure 8 inches by 5 inches. So you'll need 2 pieces of cardstock. You can either do the same, or you can do 2 different ones, which is what I've done here. So I've used 2 different pieces here, as you can see. This one I haven't inked, this one I have inked. And this probably is my favorite, but I love that sort of vintage style anyway. So, so what we'll do is we'll choose another 2 out of here. I've got a couple of packets of these, so I need to be using them up. What will we use? That's really pretty. So use that one. Sorry, I probably could have done this beforehand. It's a bit of a ring in that one, really, isn't it? Although that probably, I might go that and that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop that to the side. All right, so once again, if you don't have this Tim Holtz worn wallpaper, you need to cut 2 pieces of cardstock, either 2 pieces the same or 2 different coordinating cardstock pieces, and they need to be cut 8 inches by 5 inches by 2. Okay, so then you just need to choose the piece you want that will be your main flap, and I think I'm going to choose this, so that's what it will look like. or will I choose this? No, I'm going to choose this piece as my main flap, okay, which is this piece here. Okay, so what you want to do, if you've got a scoreboard, this is going to make your life so much easier. If you don't, you can still do it with just a ruler and a pencil, but you're going to measure down approximately 2 7/8 of an inch. So just let me, I'm probably off screen there as well. So 2 7/8 of an inch, okay? So you're just going to score that and just fold that down. And I'll just press that so it's a nice crisp fold there. On the other piece, so this piece here, you want to measure up. You're going to go and measure upwards 3 1/4 inch. Now, just be aware, this is where you need to be aware if your paper is directional. Just keep in mind that this is going to be folding over there, and then this piece is going to be folding up here. So if it's directional, just keep that in mind and have a think about which way you're going to be doing your folding, okay? So I'll just recap. The first piece you want to measure from the top down, and you're going to measure 2 7/8 of an inch. Once again, if you don't want to measure, you can just eyeball it. And then this piece here, you're going to measure 3 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. Okay. Sorry, I've just got a few notes here because last time I did a tutorial without any notes and I missed a step and messed it up. So I just wrote a few quick notes. So 3 1/4 inch. And this one's really not directional as such, so I'm just gonna go from one end. It doesn't matter which is top and which is bottom. Okay, so same thing again. Just score that nicely. Okay. So this is where you're just going to just audition the pieces and make sure that you're happy with the way that looks. So that's going to be your main flap. So just keeping this one in mind. This is going to be your main flap, and this is going to be your tuck at the back. Okay. So what you're going to do now is we're going to punch these little divots. Let me just get rid of this. These little divots here. So these just make it a little bit easier to get out anything that's actually in the pocket there. And your divot on the inside here as well. Okay. So I'm just using a 1 1/4 inch round circle punch. This is a Stampin' Up one as well. So what you want to do is just want to eyeball it. So we're going to punch a divot in this one. So we'll just take that away. We're going to just eyeball halfway there and just punch your divot, and this is going to be on the inside here, so then you can also just line that up once again, just eyeball it and punch your divot in there as well. Okay, so that's what you'll have. All right, okay. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, okay? All right, so what I would probably do now, if you want to ink, sorry, I'll just grab my ink. If you want to ink, I would ink around it now. I'll just quickly do that. So what are you all doing for New Year's Eve? So it's New Year's Eve here now. I will probably be in bed before midnight, I would imagine. Party animal that I am. So we're just having salmon and salad for dinner, and we're just going to have a very chilled night. We might watch a little bit of something on telly, and then go to bed. Yep, that's it for us. My boys, they're all going out to parties, so at least someone in the family is going to party. So what I just did then as well is just on this flap side, I hope I'm not confusing everyone, I'm all over the place. On this flap side, I've just softened those corners by rounding them off, and I've just used this corner punch there. Just gives it a softer edge. You don't have to do that again, it's totally up to you. Okay, so I'm just really roughly just inking these, and I found this little inker in a cosmetics store. It's for putting foundation on, I think. I don't wear foundation, so, but I did have like a smaller one where you just held on, but my fingers ended up getting ink on everything. And I just love this one, so I bought one of those, and I went back to get some more the other day and I can't find them now. Anyway, that's all right. I mainly use vintage photos, so that's that. I can't even tell that I've inked there. Okay, so that's, we've inked around that. Okay, so it's just giving it a little bit more definition, and I'll just do a little bit of ink on this one just to make it look a little bit more vintage. Okay, all right, so now what you want to do, I'm going to put my lid on the ink. Now what you want to do on the larger pocket, so I'm calling this piece here the larger pocket, okay, you want to measure approximately 1 inch up from the bottom. Now I'm just going to eyeball this. You're going to do it in the middle of the pocket. Okay, so we're just going to take the top part away. So in the middle of the pocket, about there, about 1 inch up. Now that's just approximately. You can do it further up if you want to, or you can do it further down, but this is just, I think, a good place to put it. And you're just going to pierce a hole. Now just make sure that you've got that back flap here out of the way, because you don't want to go through that, okay? So when you're doing that, you're only going through the one piece. You're not going to go through both pieces. All right? So you're going to measure 1 inch up from there, and then you're also, so I'm just going to put that back in place and just work out so that it's pretty much in line here, and you're just going to measure approximately 1 inch up. So I'm going to use that green dot there as my guide, this green dot here, and same thing again, make sure you have this back piece out of the way, and we're just going to pierce that through just the one thickness. So that gives you the holes for your brads. Okay, once again, if you want to, you can measure it. I've just eyeballed it, so okay. So once again, you can use any brads. I've just, in my cleaning up process, I found these and I thought, well, that's my 2020 goal. I don't do resolutions, but my 2020 goal is to use up some of the bits and pieces that I've had hanging around for so long. I've got so much stuff. So once again, just, I don't know, have a little bit of a play and see what you like. Is that the same? So whether that one, or just see which one you like the look of the best. That one's quite pretty. You could even go, actually that's quite nice, I like that one. If I got 2 of those. Okay, so I like those. So I'm going to just pop these other ones aside. Okay, now one thing to keep in mind, because these are bigger brads, we're going to be sewing around here, so you just want to make sure there's enough room between here and here for your presser foot to go through without causing any damage to your machine. Okay, so that should be fine there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to open the prongs on both of those. Open the prongs on both of those, and on this one here, which is the main pocket, so you're going to have a lot of things going in here. I'm actually going to glue some just some random washi tape over those prongs so nothing gets caught on them. So I'll just grab some of that. I'll do a second. No idea what I've got here. Okay. So I'm just going to use this random washi tape. I'm just going to tear a piece off, and this is another bit of my stash that's been lying around for a while. So it's not really sticky. So I'm just running this over this Kaiser Craft glue stick, which I love, by the way. It's I haven't found a glue stick that I really like, but I have started using them and I love them, and I'll be stocking them in my website soon. So if you want to give them a try, I'll put the link down to my website down below. So I'm just sticking that. I mean, it doesn't match anything in particular, but you're not going to see that. So I just want to, so when you're slipping, so as you can see here with this one, you can slip that in and out quite comfortably. It's not getting caught on any prongs. Okay, so that's just the idea for that. Okie doke. So that's your pocket. Now you need some twine or some ribbon, some thread, some DMC thread, something like that. I've got these bits here that came off tags that I didn't want to use on the tags. So I'm just going to use that, and I'm just going to run this on top of it just to darken it up a little bit. Okay, so on this top piece, what you're going to do is just put that around there, and you're going to tie a double knot, and this will just secure it then. So pull it quite tight and then tie it again, and then we'll just trim off the edge, off the end, sorry. Just trim off the end. Okay. So I think my scissors need sharpening. Okay. So then you've got your tie in there. It's not going to go anywhere, and it's secure there. Okay, now if you want to, you can just put a little bit of glue. You can use your wet glue, or I'm just going to use this just in a very, oops, that's not close to the edge. Don't do what I do and just completely mess that up. I've glued that too far in here, so it's taking away real estate from your pocket basically. So you just want a little bit of glue, and because I'm going to sew this straight away, I just want it just on the edge, just to sort of keep it in place so it doesn't move when I'm sewing it. So once again, if you're not going to sew it, you can just glue it with your wet glue or whichever glue you have on hand. So basically, the only reason I'm doing that is just to keep it in place, as I said, just for when I sew it, so it's not slipping. Okay. Now you can ink this if you want to. If you want to get rid of that white, I'm not going to worry about it. That doesn't stress me out too much. So I'm not going to be concerned about that at all. So now what I'm going to do is, when you're sewing, just be aware of this. Make sure that's out of the way so you don't sew that in. I'm going to start on this left-hand side. As most of you know, I like to have my threads hanging. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to sew all the way around until I get to here. If you want sewing here and sewing here, you need to do that now before you close it up. Okay, I'm not doing that. I don't know why, I just don't want to. So I'm just going to start here, and as I said, go all the way around. So I'm just going to go to my machine and do that now. I won't leave you guys sitting there while I do that. So I'm just going to pop you on pause, and I will be right back. Thank you. Okay, so I've sewn around that. Once again, I don't know whether you can see, because I've sewn here and sewn this while that's opened, this was on the underside, so the needle has pushed through the paper and made this white. If you don't like that look and it worries you, just quickly run over that with your ink lightly, and that just sort of takes away the starkness then. And then if you want to, you can sort of ink on the inside here. As I said, you can ink here as well. That doesn't particularly worry me, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. And there you have your cute little pocket with cute little envelope with your pocket in the back. So I'll just do that one up. So that's it there. So you could fill that up with a few different tags and bits and pieces, and then on the inside the same again, like that. Okay, and that's, as I said before, that slides in there easily, and it's not catching on these prongs because I've stuck washi tape over that to protect. Okay, so that's that. I thought what I might do is quickly just do another one just out of cardstock for those of you that don't have any of this worn wallpaper of Tim Holtz. So I've just, while I was sewing, after I was sewing, I just quickly grabbed a couple of bits of scrapbooking paper. So I'm thinking, so with these double-sided papers, you've got to remember that whatever's on the other side is going to show here. So I'm thinking I might just use this one sheet. I don't know what it's going to turn out like because it's pretty directional. So let's just cut. I just need to get the arm of my cutter here. So let's cut 8 by 5. I think that's what I said, wasn't it? Let me just have a look. Yeah, 8 by 5. So we want 5. Oh, that's my scoreboard, sorry. Just fell on boom boom, sorry mate. Oh, goodness me. So we want 5 this way, so we might just cut. Oh, I'm not going to overthink it, I'm just going to cut it. So we're going to cut 8 first. Okay, so we cut 8 that way, and then we're going to cut 5. I do like those roses, so I'm going to cut 5 inches that way. So at least this way I can probably have those as my flap and it's not going to worry too much. And then we'll do 5 this way and get those roses in there as well. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let me just get these out of the way. So I think I want that as my main flap. And then I'm going to go like that, I think. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be my main flap piece here. So I just need to get my scoreboard. And we're going to measure 2 7/8, I think I said. So 2 7/8 in this way. So this will be the bottom of the flap. So 2 7/8. I'm probably totally off the screen again. 2 7/8. So we're just going to score that. While I've got the scoreboard out, we'll score the other one. So we're going to go, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. We'll go this way. We're going to go upwards, and we're going to go upwards 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Okay. And just put that away. Try not to drop it on the dog again. Okay, so this is your bottom piece. So we just want to fold that and press that down, and this is going to be your flap. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like. So that's your flap, and then this is your pocket piece. Okay, so we are going to, on this piece, on the inside piece, we're going to cut divots. So just eyeball it approximately the center, cut the divot, and then also the same again here. Okay, so that's what you've got. Probably would have liked this piece down here now, but anyway, that's okay. We've done it now, so we'll stick with that. So just very, very quickly, I'm going to, I'll soften these corners as well. We may as well do that while we're doing this. Just soften those corners. Once again, you can keep them straight if you like. I just like that softened look on the flap. I'm just going to very, very quickly ink around the outside of this. You could probably do the outside of this after you've sewn. I just want to make sure that I get all the bits and pieces that inked that I'm not going to be able to get to. So it's probably more so this piece here with the divots that you want to worry about, because once you've sewn this up, it's hard to ink that edge, because it's, you know, you've got to try and get in there and do it once it's sewn. So what I might do is I might just do those edges so that I don't bore you to tears with my inking skills. Okay, so that's what we're going to look like. Okay, so now we're going to measure approximately 1 inch up and in the center. So I'm just going to go like that, and remember we're only going through one thickness. Make sure this flap's out of the way. So just going through one thickness there, you can see that, and then just so that you get the center, or get so that the eyelets are the, what do you call these, brads are in the same proximity of one another. We're going to go straight up here about 1 inch, and once again only through one thickness. Make sure this is out of the way, and then you've got your hole there. Okay, so that's good. Now what have we got? They might be quite nice. I'm not gonna muck around. So we're just gonna make sure that they look okay in there. That's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, so we'll do this bottom piece first. So remember, open up the prongs. It's a shame that Eiffel Tower's in there, but anyway, that's okay. And we're going to use just some random washi tape. Just use the one that you don't like the most, or the one that's lost its stickiness. We just want to cover those prongs so that nothing gets caught on there, and just add a little bit of glue if it's, well, it probably wouldn't hurt to add a bit of glue anyway, just to make sure that it sticks down. So adhere that down really well. Okay, Close this up. I mean, you can always add something to here as well, into these prongs if you want to, if you don't want that to see that piece. That's totally up to you. Once again, that doesn't concern me too much. So that's what we're going to look like. I'm just going to grab another one of those strings from one of those tags. You know, I nearly threw these out and I thought, oh, I'll keep them, I might use them, and I've used them so much. So once again, I'm just going to run my ink over that, and we're going to tie a double knot. And then just trim off the excess there. Okay. Preferably with sharp scissors. Oh, they worked that time. Okay. So that's secure there. All right. So then once again, we're going to sew around there. You know what? This time I'm not going to sew. I'm just going to glue, just for those of you that don't have a sewing machine, so that you can see what it looks like. I think it looks pretty anyway, even without the sewing. I'm just a sewer, and I just, if anything sits still for too long, it gets sewn. So just use your wet glue probably, if you've got wet glue. This is just a glue that I get from Spotlight here in Australia. It's Crafter's Choice. I just find it's really good for everything, fabric as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to glue just close to the edge here. And I don't think I've got any glue there. On both these sides. Do it as close to the edge as you can. And then just pop that piece down in there, and we're going to go put it all together and make sure that it's on there straight. So just adhere that down, just squeeze any excess glue out. Okay. And then we don't want to add glue here, so we'll just open this up and we'll just add glue on these two sides here. Okay, pop that up there like that. Okay, so because I thought I was going to sew, I didn't ink around these sides here, so I'll just add a little bit of ink, and it wouldn't be a project without me getting glue everywhere. So I'm just going to ink that very roughly. And on the front here. And there you have another beautiful little envelope. Another envelope with a pocket at the back. So you could decorate this as well if you wanted to. I'm going to leave these at the moment because I'm not sure which journals they're going to go in, and I'll decorate them accordingly if I feel they need to be decorated. You could do these as flips on your pages. So if you did decide you wanted to do that, you would actually just add your little bit of hinge or washi tape, however you're going to hinge it on this side here or this side here. So make sure you don't adhere your flap, obviously. And then that can just hinge off your page. Okay, or I probably would just have this as a floating envelope pocket and just have a paper clip at the top or the side of my page. So very quick and easy. Once again, using up, as I said, I've got a few packets of these worn wallpapers of Tim Holtz, and I love them obviously because I've bought some of the same packets, so I'm going to be making some of these up. There's another one that I've used the same paper there, but I've just alternated it. So I've got this paper here as a flap and this one on the underneath. So I'll make that up again later. But they turned out really beautiful. I think they're really lovely. And just once again, if you're like me and you have 50 million sheets of scrapbooking paper, great way to start using up some of your papers. And then you don't have that many scraps left over, but those scraps that we've got left over from cutting these 2 pieces of paper out, we can do some tags with those, or some little, what do you call those? Can't even think. Just little scrap pieces that you can decorate your pages with, little snippet things. So clusters, that's what they're called. Forgive me, it's that time of the year. Okay, so that's that. So hopefully I have inspired someone to give this a go. Just a fairly quick tutorial. I also just wanted to, this coming year, 2020 is going to be my year. To be quite honest, I'll be glad to see the back of 2019. Although I am, you know, it wasn't all horrible, but it was a tough one. So this year is going to be my year, this 2020. For those of you that have just found me and haven't been following along for long enough, I'm actually getting married, and it's less than 3 months away now, so that's really exciting. I'm really nervous. It's nervous, exciting nervous, not scared nervous. And we are going on an amazing honeymoon. We're going to Europe for 5 weeks, so I don't think I've told anyone that, so you guys are the first to know. So I've got thinking that I'm going to do a few little craft with me videos if you're interested. So I just thought I'd just briefly show you what my plans are. So I've got this beautiful traveler's notebook from Prima Marketing, and what I'm going to do is I can't journal on a blank page. Okay, if I had to journal on that, I would really struggle. My sister and I call it journal sickness. I don't know what it is. Since I've done decorated my personal journal, which I have touched on before and shown you, this is my very, very personal journal. I can't show you, but I have actually gone through and pre-decorated this. Nothing is associated to any of the journaling or anything like that. You know, I've just plopped watercolor down, just stickers, random stickers, all that sort of thing. So I've done that. I've just found that I can journal every day. Now that I've done that, I just find that's just made writing a lot easier. So what I was thinking is I'm going to take this traveler's notebook with me. Now I've got like our travel insurance card in there. I'm going to put some important bits and pieces in here. I've just put some cards in there for now. And I'm going to decorate. That's my partner's phone ringing now, so he'll probably come in and get that. I'm going to pre-decorate these A5 journals from Carpe Diem. So I just thought I'd just quickly show you through. So this little one here is actually a traveler's notebook book, and I've made it smaller because I wanted to define it from the rest of the books. And this is just my my lists book. So this is what, you know, things that we need to take. And then what we wanted to do was, we've never traveled to Europe, Jim and I. I've done a little bit of traveling. Jim's only ever traveled to New Zealand, so it's very exciting for us. But we don't want to get over there and go, okay, so now we're in London. There's so much to see. What do we want to do? So what we want to do is we want to pre-think it a little bit and just go, well, these are the sites that we would like to see, and just do a list so that we don't get there and we're totally overwhelmed. So I'm going to decorate these pages and just have like I guess a bucket list, if you want to call it that, of places that we want to see in each place that we go to. So that's what this book's going to be, and I've just decorated the cover there, as you can see. And this is one of the books that I will journal in, and I'm hoping that I will journal in every night if I'm not too exhausted. And if not, I'm going to take half an hour in the morning at breakfast to do the journaling from the day before. That's my plans anyway. Or if we're at a cafe, I can take this whole thing with me and pop it in Jim's knapsack, or I can just take this book out and take that with me and journal. that day. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet. So I've decorated this cover as well. And that's the back. Okay, so what I thought, why I'm showing you this is I thought I might do some journal with me videos, or decorate my journal, travel journal with me videos. I don't know. If you're interested, let me know. So I'm just going to do a very, very quick flip through of this. So I've put in the front and back covers some of these airmail envelopes, just so that I can pop little bits and pieces in, tickets, that sort of thing I want to keep. And as I said, nothing relates to anything. So this one has actually got London on it. Well, we're not in London first, so this will be, well, maybe it won't be the first book that I journal in. I might like the others, some of the others that I journal, that I decorate first and use them first. But so nothing, you know, like we might be in Amsterdam and this might have London on it. That doesn't concern me. I just wanted to decorate the pages so that it made it easier for me to journal. So this is just what I've done. It's amazing. I have, of all the bits and pieces that I have in my stash, I have not a lot of travel related items, so I've had to be a little bit creative. So I've done some tucks just so that I can add little bits and pieces, that sort of thing. Some are fairly plain, some are decorated more than others. Like some of these I've actually gone around with pen and framed the page. Some I haven't. I might do that when I'm actually journaling. I'll just see what happens. I've got tip-ins here for extra journaling. Little pockets with tags. You know, I can pop tickets and that sort of thing in there as I go. So this one's fairly plain. Same with this one. So just more tip-in and a little pocket. Another little pocket, and I've just, I don't know, I love decorating and doing this sort of thing. So I've done a little bit of stamping. I just think that I'll really enjoy journaling in here more so than having a blank. I'll be more inclined to journal than having a blank page. This is just some packaging that I've used. I've sewn coffee dyed paper onto, and that's just a tip-in. Just use washi tape and a label. So just to give you a little bit of an idea what I'm thinking. I'm probably going to, I don't know how many to pre-decorate. I mean, once you start writing, these fill up pretty quickly. I have filled one of these up for the month of December, and that's just writing fairly basic stuff. So I'm thinking that I'll need probably at least 3. We're going for 5 weeks. So I might do 3 or 4, because I figure if I don't use all these, I can then pull these apart, because my intention is to take the details out of here, and I want to actually make a junk journal with photos once we get back and I print them out. Excuse me. So this is just like a reference point, and I'm going to take snippets out of here and put them with photos in a junk journal. That's what I'm thinking. So if I do pre-decorate, I'd rather have more journals pre-decorated than not, if it means that I'm going to journal our day in them. So if I do have extra journals left over, I can pull them apart and use these pages in my junk journal. Does that make sense? So yeah, these are just, as I said, just very quickly, just what I've done. Just little bits and pieces. Here's just another little envelope that I can pop some bits and pieces in there. I do intend on taking a clip seal bag for each country we're going to, and just pop brochures and all those sort of things that you collect along the way in there, and then they will go in my junk journal when I get home. So that's all I've done so far. So I'm going to pop a few videos up like that. If you're interested, keep an eye out for those. 2020 is going to be a journaling year for me. I'm still going to be doing my junk journals and my Tuesday inspiration and making my ephemera pieces and that sort of thing, but I really want to include some of the journal with me videos as well, because I really do love that side of the junk journaling as well. So I'd really like to share that with you, just to show you my process and how I go about it. So they might be a little bit long-winded, some of them, and I apologize in advance for that because I don't know how to do voiceovers and that sort of thing. So we'll see how we go. But that's it, guys. So that's the little envelope pockets that we've done today. Hopefully that's inspired you. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you for your support, not just this year, but the previous year when I first started my channel. I'm heading close to the 2,000 subscribers, and I am just amazed that anyone is even interested in what I do. I've started the YouTube channel because I mean, obviously you hope that you do get subscribers, but I just wanted to share and get the love of crafting. I just love it so much. It's, you know, just I love it with a passion, and I just want to share that passion with you. So thank you every single one of you that have supported me, whether it's commenting or liking or just subscribing to my channel or buying from my Etsy store or my website. I really, really do appreciate every single one of you, and I just want to wish you all a really, really happy and prosperous 2020. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Hopefully you'll see the new year in. I doubt I will. I'll be in bed, but I will see you hopefully in a few days. Take care. Bye-bye.